All right, guys, here we are. We're live. We're gonna just sit here for a couple of minutes, see if we can get anybody to join in here. But tonight we're gonna be making a little paint caddy, as you can see in the title of the video and all that stuff. This is gonna be a little someplace to be able to keep your acrylics, to be able to house them and have them to where you have them. So when you need them, you go get them, grab them, and be able to use them. So I have a couple of them here already, as you can see. But I have another one that's going to be on a laser bed. I'm going to start that here in a little bit. We'll get that cutting out and show you how that process goes. What's nice about them is this one's a little bit different style than those. These you can stack them on top of each other, so that's kind of nice. You can stack them up there and have them sit together. And when you need something, you can just take either one off, or you can grab all of them and take them and go. So that's what's kind of neat about this little caddy set. Let's see if we got anybody here. If anyone's here, jump in, tell me who you are, where you're from, and we'll start the show. How many do we got in here? We got 2 in here. So tell me who you are, where you're from, and what's going on. How you guys doing? Well, we'll give it a couple minutes here to see if anybody else shows up in here and before we actually start. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Jack in the shop. Hey, what's up, Jack? What's up, Kathy? I think that little ticker up on top is not right, but it gives me, I guess, a little idea of what it is. But remove that one from there. So we'll give it a couple seconds here and kind of see what happens. How you guys doing today? Everyone doing good? Jackie, have a good day. Kathy, have a good day. It's kind of cold. I have my heat on here right now. I got a little propane heater that I turn on at night. It's just a little bit chilly. Judge just got a raccoon. What do you mean he got a raccoon? He killed a raccoon? Judge is a big St. Bernard, big mean one. Yeah, I want to kind of start doing a little bit of like organizing my shop a little bit, get things to where I can get to them easy and be able to kind of just keep stuff organized and a little bit neater. So that's part of what some of my videos are going to be. I have a paint can spray holder I put together. I'll probably do a video on that as well too. But just try to make things look a little bit neater and cleaner. So that's kind of what I'll be kind of looking at. So I figure those are all good little things like this caddy. I mean, it's one sheet of 300 by 300 millimeter plywood. You can make one of these caddies out of and have a little small piece left over out of it for whatever else. But I forget where I got the idea from. Somewhere I got the idea, and then I just figured we'll create our own and make our own. So, but we might jump in here and kind of start going over the process. I was hoping some more people would jump in, and so I'm not having to try to explain stuff over, and maybe they'll be able to pick up some tips on it. They'll be able to watch the live feed later on, then they can just go back and watch it over and go over some stuff with it. Oh boy. The other day wearing shorts and now I'm all bundled up. That's crazy. But they always say North Carolina, if you don't like the weather today, wait a couple days because it'll definitely change. So we're in a little chillier time right now. 70s were here and gone for a couple days. They were here and then they're gone. But I don't mind it too bad. The little chillier 50s is great. 40 mid to upper 40s is good as long as it's not windy. But you know, you don't always get that. Oh, starting the stream. We can get rid of that banner. I always forget that. We can get that one out of there. And I'll play this one here for just a short little bit. What you working on tonight, Jack? You got anything planned you got to work on? Imagine you didn't get home too long ago, so probably just starting to settle yourself in, I'm guessing. I'll probably have this on my Ko-Fi site. If anybody wants to get it, or you can just follow along and create your own. It's really, really not hard. It's any level can do it. So a beginner can definitely do this. Just following along, just knowing what your measurements are and what you're kind of looking for. It. Anybody can follow along and do it. It's not real hard. Just getting it all oriented to the way, the size you want it and the way you need it to be. That's it. These other ones I had, I think they held 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, they held 12. The new one I did actually holds 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So the new one actually holds 2 more, which is nice. And it's literally the same size. So when I did it, I didn't want to go 300 by 300. I wanted to be a little bit less than that, so that I didn't have to worry about when I'm framing it, having it where my 300 by 300 was a little bit off. I didn't have to worry about it, kind of getting to the edge or not being able to line it up because it's a little bit shorter. So I went just a little bit shorter than the 300 by 300. I forget what size I actually did. When we jump in Lightburn, we'll see it, but it was definitely a little bit shorter, maybe like 290 or something like that. I made it long. So, all right. Well, we're going to jump in here and get started, and anyone who comes in later can watch the beginning of this on the repeat whenever it goes on my channel. So, I guess first thing we'll do is I'll show you it again. That's what we're going to be creating tonight. Just a little caddy, just so you can just keep organized your paints. All my paints are. I don't really use these a whole lot. They're drying out, so I got to add water to them all the time. But you get a set of calibers, you know what you're going to have with it and what size you need to have. So mine are about 35 millimeters wide, round wide, and the height is about 101 millimeters tall. So you can always go up a little bit higher, like maybe 101, 102. And you don't need to go too crazy wide. So if it's 35, you can go probably like 36. That'll be enough for you to be able to slide them in there without fussing too much with it and not have it too sloppy for it. So that definitely makes it a lot easier to be able to keep your paints and have everything all organized and together. It's much, much nicer. So let's go ahead and jump into Lightburn. I guess we'll get this show kind of started here. All right, so in Lightburn, got to add that to the show. And just hit that one there. That should be the only one we have now. Perfect. All right, so in the show, in Lightburn, you can see this is the file that I have. The tabs, the slots and tabs I made were 3 by 10. So everything on this will all be 3 by 10 for the slots and the tabs. And the length of it is, I was telling you, the length is 296 by 96. So it's a little, I thought it was 290, but it's 296. So it's a little bit skinnier than that. I do have a piece of plywood up on the bed. We're going to go ahead and start that here in just a second, just to get that process going through it. It takes about maybe 20 minutes for it to do it, so it doesn't take too long for it. But I'll go ahead and start that. So we'll start that right now. Just get that going. And I already had it framed, so I shouldn't have to worry about frame. I'm going to frame it one more time just to make sure. But it's already framed and everything's ready to go. Let's add this to the stage also. And let's click on that one so you can see it. And I'm just going to go ahead and just hit the frame, the circle frame. And as you can see, it's going right around the border, what you want it to do. And that's the piece that it won't have to worry about doing is this corner up here. Everything else looks like it's locked into place yet. It didn't shift or move on me, so we know we're good to go. So let that finish framing again. You can see that blue light going through there. And it's going to finish up now. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit start in Lightburn and just go ahead and let it do its thing. Let me turn on the stuff. All right, that's all turned on. And I'm just going to go in here to Lightburn. And all I'm going to do up here, I'm just going to go ahead and click start. The framing I did was this circle one and the rubber band frame. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit start. And we're going to let that go through. I'll show you the machine doing this thing here for just a second. There we go. So it's all cutouts. There is no engrave on it. I didn't have anything for the engrave, so it's just all strictly cutouts. All right, we'll go back in. All right. See if we got any comments, questions, concerns, anything. Let's see what we have. Still looks like the same. Nothing's been added, so I guess we're doing good. I'm going to go ahead and turn this banner off right now. I got one comment up here. What's it say? What power laser is that? This is the 18 20 watt, and running pretty 280 millimeters a minute. So it's not. I don't want to have any snags that's gonna hold up, and I got to go back through. I hate using my blade. It's okay, but I wanted to cut it out clean and not have to worry about it. So did this all freeze up on me? There we go. We're back. So I have to go back with the razor blade to cut it out. So I do this conservative, and that's it. That is basswood. The settings are 280 meters a minute, 100% power. That's, like I said, it's a little bit slower side. I just want to make sure that it does cut it away cleanly, because I hate going through them little pieces, having to break them off or cut them or whatever. All right, let me go ahead and star this one here so we know where we were at. And let's go ahead and jump back into Lightburn. All right, so in Lightburn, this is the file, like I said. You can see my circles here. It's probably all grouped. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Let me ungroup this up here. And the circles I did were 36, because I think they were like 30, 35 or 34 point something. So what I did was I made them like 36, just a little bit bigger, so it's easier setting them in and out. And like I said, the actual base for it is 296 millimeters long. So all you got to do is just come up here and hit the square, rectangle, and I'm going to turn that to a cut layer, and we're going to make it 296 long. Actually, we'll make it 290. That's why, because the 3 millimeter tabs made it longer. So we're going to make it 290 millimeters long. And then the height, I just heard noise. I want to make sure it didn't fall off the piece there. And then the height that I made it was 96 millimeters wide. So I just kind of took each one of these circles that I need to have, and I measured my paint, and then I made them 36. So I just took two of them, kind of spread them apart a little bit so I had enough border around it, and then that's how I was able to get what size I needed for the width of that base. So that's what came out to would have come out to 96 millimeters wide. So we're just going to change that to 96 millimeters wide, or the height now would be 96 because I have it oriented from left to right. So that's the size of what we're using right there. And I wanted to be able to make sure this all fit, like I said, in one 300 by 300 piece. So 300 tab, 300, because I want that's the key, is trying to see if you can use one instead of having to use multiple ones. So if you click that and you put that in the middle here, you see you got plenty of room on the sides to be able to cut it out. Now we're going to add tabs to this, so we know it's going to be a little bit longer. That's why it was 6 millimeters bigger, because it's 3 millimeter tabs on each side. So let's just go ahead and set this up here. And you only need, when you're creating this stuff, you only need to create one, because you have 2 levels, but you only need to create the 1 level, because all you're going to do is duplicate the other one. And if I was doing the ones with the circles, I would just duplicate that and then just get rid of the circles that are in that. Same with this up here. You only need to do one of the end pieces, because once you do one, you're just going to duplicate it, and then you'll have your 2 pieces. So it makes it a lot easier just doing one instead of worrying about doing both levels to it, both tiers and both legs that hold it all together. So, and when you're doing, you're setting up your slots and tabs, there is no wrong or right way to do it. In my opinion, I want to actually switch this up and down. So let me just hit the period key, just to have it go up and down. And I'm going to come over here and click my rectangle. And I'm just going to make a rectangle. The only thing you need to have is the 3 millimeters for the height, because that's what wood I'm using. So you want to make sure that 3 millimeters is the height of what it is. So we're going to come up here and click on that and hit 3 and hit enter. So the height is all you need to really worry about right this minute. So the width, if you want them skinny, you make them skinny. If you want them longer, you make them longer. You want to do 3 instead of 5 or 6, whatever you want. I mean, it's not going to make too much of a difference for stability wise. Maybe if you only had 3, you might get a little more spots that'll be, not so tight. But I don't know how many I did on this one here. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 of them, and you're going to see why I had 5. We're going to use a couple tools that hopefully people out here that have this stuff working light burn or don't know much about light burn, you're going to learn a couple things, which is good. So I'm going to make it 3 by 10, just a standard even number. So now we know that is, if you look up here, it's 3 millimeters high and 10 millimeters wide. So we're just going to bring that, and we're going to just come over here and click on the top right. You'll see it's got the docking tools. I'm just going to dock it down. I want to see if it docks it to that. It did not dock it. Let me try it again. If that don't work, then we'll try another one. All right, so that didn't go for me. So we're just going to select the tab that we want to make, or the slot, whatever one we're doing here. We're making, this is going to be tabs. And then we're going to come and click this button right here. This is going to drop it down to the top of, well, you'll see. It'll drop it straight down to where it's right in line with that bottom base. Now, that's not what we want, because we want that to be that would be a slot, or if it was up a little bit, it would be more of a slot than a tab. So we want to actually bring that down. So just let's hit the key to bring it down. And now we're going to do the same thing what we just did. Hold control, select that, and we're going to go opposite. Now we're going to go up. Let me go back. Let's try it one more time. And it's going all the way up to the top part up there, which is not what I want. So go back out of there. Select this one. Come over here, and we're just going to dock it straight up. And you saw it push it straight to the bottom there, to the top of this, bottom of that. Now, I like to have mine about the same width, but off the edge. So I'm going to take this, highlighted, select this one, holding control, and I'm going to push that to the left now. And you saw it just move it straight over to the left. All right, now I'm going to click off that, and I'm going to click this one here, and I'm going to hit Control-D, duplicate it, and I'm going to bring it. I gotta redo that. Hold on, let me go to this gears. I have that arrow key way too high. That's 50. So let me drop that down to 5. I should have went 10. So I'll just do it twice. That'll put it right there. So it moved it over. Since that was 10 millimeters wide, it moved it over by hitting it twice, moved it over twice to the 10 millimeter mark. So now I'm going to go ahead and undo, because I didn't want that to move. Select this one here. And I'm going to move this over to the other side. All right. Now I'm going to select this one, and now we're going to go the opposite way, and we're going to have it just line up right on this edge. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click that, highlight it, and I'm going to move it over twice. Oh, and Control duplicate it first, then move it over twice. There's 5, there's 10. Now I can take this and just move it off the board, because we will use that later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one here. Once I get done with this step here, I'm going to go to the comments and see what we got. Hit Control, duplicate, and then just move it over to that side. Hit Control, duplicate, and now move it to the right arrow key, move it over. Control, duplicate, move it over. Control, duplicate, and move it over. So that's going to give us 6 of them, so we can fit 6 on that this way. Now, we're going to select all of them. And this button up here is going to distribute them evenly with space in between them. So you see it just moved everything and got them all spaced across evenly. So that's what you want. Now we're going to hit Control, duplicate that, and just bring that up to the top because we're going to need that on the top as well. All right, put it right there. Now I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to go over and let's see what we have going on. All right. So hopefully, I mean, this is pretty basic. So I keep clicking the wrong button here. Let me get rid of this. I got to get that chrome out of there. All right. All right. So let's see what we have. Fixed it. What did we fix? All right. Everyone's kind of quiet tonight. You guys can talk amongst each other. And if you say, I'll see it. Well, I mean, there's not many comments, so I don't have to worry about shifting through too many of them. All right, so let's take that off. How's that look so far, Jack? Looking like it's kind of right? People might ask, why do you ask Jack all the time? Jack's been doing this for like, what'd you say, like 10 years to 7 years? So he's got a lot of computer skills, a lot of knowledge with making stuff as well, too. So you kind of bounce ideas off each other, which is a good thing to have. It's good. It's a good asset to have. All right, so let's go back into Lightburn. And let's keep it going over the process. All right, so we have those. I'm going to group those so that they don't come together, move, or shift on me in any way. Now I'm going to select this one here, the box, and I want to make sure that it's right. It's centered left to right. It didn't move, so I was pretty much right on it. Now we're going to select this one, and let me see what the docking's going to do. Let me see if that's going to drop it down. It did. All right, so now we have those tabs up here, and we have these tabs down here. So sometimes this part works, sometimes it don't. If it don't, we'll have to go a different route, but it should be fine. We're going to find out. So now we're going to hit, those are already selected. We're going to Control and select this one. And now we're going to come over here and we're going to weld that together. You see it welded that perfect, so we had no issues with it. Sometimes it'll weld a couple of them, and maybe it won't weld one of them. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it does. Let's go ahead and select, holding Control, select the bottom. Now everything's selected. Nope, they're not grouped. So let me go ahead and group those quick. Now hold Control and select this box. And let's go ahead and weld that. See, some of those didn't weld this time. So that's, I don't know why it does that. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it is what it is. We're just going to hit the undo button. And now we're going to take these. And I'm going to hold Shift and Control and then my up arrow key just to get it to overlap it just a little bit, as you can see. Now it's overlapped it a little bit. The only problem is now it changed my tab size. My tabs are not going to be the correct size. So we're going to have to fix that, which is not a big deal. Now we're going to hit Control and select that box, and we're going to weld that together. Now you see they're all welded together, so we're good with that. But before I do that, I don't want to go too far. I want to select these and hit Control, duplicate that, because I'm going to need those for the arms that hold this whole thing together. Now I can go ahead and select all this and weld them together. All right, they are grouped yet, so that's good. I'm just going to move those off to the side over here so we have them. Now, we have to put our circles in here to hold our paints. So what we're going to do is we said that they were I think I said 35, so I'm going to change to 36, give them just a little bit wider. Now, if you have your own, if you're going to make this and your bottles are a little wider than mine, then you're going to have to make sure that you definitely adjust yours to the width of yours. You just need a good set of calibers to be able to do that. And then you can change them in this file. But you have to know what the width and the height is. I'm going to leave that over here because we're probably going to need it again. So we know it's 36 millimeters wide. So all we're going to do is we're going to come up here and hold this rectangle, and we're going to come down here to the ellipse. Hold in shift. We're going to drag it down, and now we're going to click off of that. By holding shift and dragging it, it makes it a perfect circle. It's symmetrical. Now we're going to select that. We only have to change one because we're going to lock this aspect ratio lock. Now we're going to change that to 36. And you see it just changed it all the way around to 36. I don't know if you noticed something here. When you look at this, I'm on oh, you're not even looking at it. You're looking at me. So I'm going to go ahead and, yep. Let me go ahead and I'm going to switch over to here because this one's done. All right, let's pull these off. This will be the second set of the ones that I made. And you see everything comes off just the way it's supposed to. We'll set them off to the side for right now. All right, so no screen sharing. I see that. I don't remember how far back I went. So I think I was doing the tabs on the side of it. So we're going to go back and we're going to redo the tabs on the side. That's the one thing I hate about it. I always mess that up. Now, the last time you were looking at it, you were looking at when I was making the tabs. So when I went back in, we were doing the tabs on the top part, I believe is what it was. So we're going to go back to that, and I'm going to show you that. So I apologize about that. All right, so let's go into Lightburn. And I'm going to undo all the way until I get to where those are all separate. All right. Let me go down just to that was at the bottom. Right here. All right, so now you're with me. There we go. All right. I apologize about that. So we have these here. These are a copy of these tabs down here. So I'm going to go back one more time. You see they're not copies anymore because they got the dashes going around. So with all those selected, we're going to hit Control and D and duplicate that. And then we're just going to hit the up arrow key until we get all the way past it to the top. Now up here in the top right, we're going to click this and we're going to bring it down, and it's going to drop. It's going to dock that straight down to that top line. So like I was telling you before, sometimes when you do this process, it works. Sometimes it don't. I don't know why it don't. Jack, if you know, or maybe you've heard, I don't know, but I can't figure a rhyme or reason why. They're all straight across. It should dock. I mean, it should weld together right. Holding Control, select this one here, and then we're going to weld it with this button right here. And that's going to weld those lines all together. So you see that just took that and made that one image. Come down here to the bottom. This is the one earlier when you didn't see it because I was off camera. This one did not weld. So we're going to hit Control, select that one, and let's see if it welds this time. See, and it did not. It did the same things. So why did some of these weld and some of these not? I'm not really sure why. It just sometimes it does it, sometimes it don't. I'm going to go back, and we're going to select these. I'm going to hit Control and Shift and just go up just a little tiny bit, as little as what I can. Now you see it overlapped it, so we know we're okay. Now, like I said, it's going to change your slots and tabs, so you're not. It's not going to be 3 millimeter slots and tabs or tabs anymore because we just moved it up a little bit. It's probably going to be like 2.90 instead of 3s, but we're going to change that in a second. Now, holding Control, since those are selected, we're going to select this box. Now, if we weld it, you're going to see it's going to weld it. But like I said, it's not the 3 millimeters anymore. If you look right here, it's 2.9. So we need to fix that before we go too far and forget about it. But before I do that, because I just did it again, let me go back. With those all selected, I want to hit Control D and duplicate this so I don't have to try to do this process later. Pull that off to the side here because we're going to need those for the arms on the side. Now let's select all this again, weld it, and now it's all welded back together. So the top is welded and the bottom is welded. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and change those slots or those tabs now. As long as everything is not grouped, which you see it's not, we can come up here and we can click on this. We can click on the tools. Let me see here. It's not letting me do it. Select it. Tools. Resize slots and selection. Now you see there, we know that what it was 2.9. So we're going to put 2.9 for the old material thickness. And this would be if you had bigger material, you know, if you had a thicker wood or whatever, you would also change this in the file as well if you do decide to get this file. So you're going to change that. That material thickness is 2.9. Because remember we did the ruler and we saw that? Now our new thickness is going to be 3. We're going to leave it just as that. And we're going to do a tab height. And now you can see it's showing these as tabs. All right. It's also showing them as slots, slot depth, which is not correct. So there is a way you can fix that. And we'll go ahead and fix that real quick. Hobo with Wood, he had a video on this, and it was a real good video on being able to have Lightburn be able to know what a slot and tab is. I'll come to your comment here in a second, Jack. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the node editing. We know this is a tab because these protrude down past this corner wood. Okay, so that that's a tab. So what you want to do is you want to come across this line, and anyone that's across this line, we're going to hit M in the middle. Okay, just hit M and put a node in each one of those spots. That's going to let Lightburn know that those are tabs, not slot depths or slot widths or anything. That's going to let them know that. Come across this as well, right across this line, put an M, hit M, hit M, M, and M. Now, hit your selector tool, and what you're looking at here is we're going to go to the tools, resize slots and selection. Now, you see it's not registering them as a slot depth. Okay? It's not registering them as a slot width. It's only going to register them now as a tab height. You see it turn blue? And you see the arrows facing up. That means we're going to go from the 2.9 here up to the 3 millimeter. So you're going to go ahead and hit apply. Actually, you can just hit OK because there is nothing else we're going to do on it. All right, so now that changed. All our slots, all our tabs are now 3 millimeters tall. All right, so now we have that done. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these circles here. Like I was telling you before I start that, let me go ahead and jump over here and see if we got any comments. All right. We can't see what you're doing. Yeah, I'm special. I told you that, Jack. Sorry I heard my name. I was working on a video to answer a question about mirror alignment on the CO2. All right, yeah, there's no big deal. I was just saying that sometimes when you align a slot and tab, or when you do the welding and you put your tabs across that line, sometimes it welds them and sometimes it don't. I'm just not sure why it does that, but every once in a while they just won't weld all of them for some reason. I mean, I had them all straight across in the same line, so they were all the same level, but unfortunately, it only welded the 2 outer ones. It did not do the 2 middle ones, so I just had to bring it up just a little bit and then re-weld it and then go ahead and change change the slots and tabs on it, or change the height of them. All right. Just get on with the project. Yeah, I got to teach everyone here, Deb. Jack needs help. He don't know what he's doing with this stuff. Now, there's people that are going to watch this rerun and they're going to see they're going to be able to learn those things. Oh, you came in late. That's probably why you didn't see it. We're making a paint caddy for my paints. That's what we're making. So that's what we're designing and making. All right, we're going to go back into Lightburn. Let me click that off and head back into Lightburn here. All right. Now in Lightburn, we got to work on the holes that are going to hold those paints in there. So we have our board going across, and we also have to work on our legs on the side that are going to hold it up. Well, let's go ahead and put our holes in here. And I know that it's 36 millimeters wide. Like I said, I showed you guys earlier. You measure it, and you know it. I'm just going to hit Control-D, duplicate that. Actually, we'll let that one go. I'm going to undo that. We're going to do our own so I can show you so you know that you have that. You're not going to be able to copy and do that. So we're going to hit the ellipse here. Holding shift, draw out a perfect circle, and we're going to make that 36. As our lock is locked, so it's not going to change the height and the width. It's going to change them both together. 36. And you see it just changed both of them to 36. We're going to put that in the middle down here. And now we're going to hit Control-D, duplicate that, and we're just going to slide that over. All right, we're going to take both of these. We're going to group them together with the little group up here. And I'm going to select the box now, and I'm going to center it left and right. So now they're centered in there perfect. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, with them all selected, we're going to come over here, just select the circles. We're going to come over here to the array, and we're going to go up the Y axis. So we're going to see how many we can get. Now you see it went the wrong way. So what do I have to do? Come down here, this button right here says reverse direction. Click that, and then it goes the way we want it to go now. And I'm going to probably make these about 4 millimeters apart, spacing, as you can change it right here with the Y spacing. And we're going to see how many we can get in there. All right, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We can fit 14 in there, which is what my line actually has. So you know you can fit them in there. So that's it for that. Hit OK. You're done. Now you're going to click this box, right click, and duplicate that, and you're going to move that over to the left. And you have your bottom piece that the paint's going to sit on, and now you have your holes. You have all your tabs going across. It's going to fit into the arms that we're going to be doing the slots now. So I'm just going to take one of these off and put them over there. Hit Control-D, duplicate it. I don't want to do that. Let me go back and back one more time. Holding Control, select that one, get rid of that one there now. Now I just have these. Hit Control, duplicate it, bring it up. Now I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to hit the comma key. No, probably the period key just a couple times to get it upside down. So this is what our piece is going to look like. That's going to lock this side, and then the other one's going to lock on that side. You got two levels here. You got this bottom one going across, and you got the top one going across. So that's going to be this will be the bottom one. This will be the top one. You got your hole. You can sit your paints in it. So we got to put these slots on this piece of wood, but we got to get that piece of wood first. So the size I used was 96 by 115. I measured my wood, or I measured my paint to see how tall it was, and I went just a little bit higher to make sure that it would fit. So my paint is 100, and I wanted to have it up higher because I wanted to have my legs down here, so it needs to be higher than 100. So you have to go higher than 100, so that, because if you went just 100, then it's going to be sticking out the top. You won't be able to put these together. So we're going to just come over here, and we're going to hit the ellipse, click on a rectangle, and then draw that out. So we know we need it to be this wide here, which was 96 millimeters width. So we need to make this one 96 millimeters width so it matches with it. So hit 96. Now the height we need to have is we got to be able to measure our paint so we know what it is. And then you have to know, you got to figure either 4 or 5 millimeters above, 4 or 5 millimeters below. So you do 5, you're looking at 10 extra millimeters more. So if my paint is 100, I'm going to make it 102 millimeters, so it's got a little bit of space between it. And now I'm going to add, so 102 plus the 10, you got 112. So we're going to make that height of 112. And you can have this whatever size you want. You just want to make sure you do add that footage, the foot at the bottom, and then that part on the top that curves. So you just need to know you have to have them higher than that. Because if you have your paint up here, if that's how tall your paint was, you won't be able to put these together. You won't be able to stack them on top because that's going to be sitting on top of the lids of your paint. So you have to make sure you do clear that. And I'm probably thinking this was 115 because I'm also going to go up off the bottom of this and then put my tabs for my bottom layer. So we're going to have to also go up a little bit more, probably another, I'd say another 3 or 4 millimeters. So let's go ahead and click that, and we're going to do plus with the height. We're just going to click in the box, and we're going to hit the plus key on your keyboard and go 4. That's going to make that 116 millimeters tall, which would be more than enough. And it's going to be different than the one I made on the machine tonight, but this is the purpose of how you're going to do it yourself. So let's get our little base going across this bottom here, like you see over here. Or if you click on this, you see I have the little feet going across the bottom here. So we're going to create that little lip going across there. That's the process we're going to do right now. All right, so we're going to get a box, and we're just going to go up, and whatever you want to see it as to the left and right, that's fine. However long you want it. It could be shorter like this, or you could have the legs, the feet not so wide, whatever it is you want. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to measure what we have here now coming up. That's 6 millimeters. That'll be fine for now. So now we can go ahead and we can do the scissor tools right here, and we can clip these away. All right. And let's hit that. Now, if we want to drop it down a little bit, because we know if we look at this right here, that's 6.15. If you only wanted to go up 5 millimeters, then you can change that up real fairly easy right now. You can just hit your, you know what, before we do that, I just noticed that I never line this up left and right. So with that selected, let's go ahead and go make sure it's left and right centered, and you saw it shift. So I wasn't right. That's a good thing I saw that. And rather than going that other route, we're just going to make this the size of what we want. And we're going to make it 5 millimeters. I didn't want it to go on both sides, so undo. Make sure your lock is unchecked. And let's go 5 again. All right, now we know it's 5 millimeters tall. Let's go and get our scissor tools, and let's just cut that away. I don't think it's quite on it. It's not, so let's go ahead and just select this. And let's dock it straight down, and it went too far. So let's go ahead and undo. Select this one, and now we're going to select this one right here, and it's just going to bring it just straight down and nudge it on that line. Now we know we're on that line the way it's supposed to be, and now we can hit our scissors, and we can go ahead and cut those out. Now you have your little feet. That's going to be your feet. I like radiuses on them, so, I kind of figured what would be good is come down here with your radius. 3 millimeters will be fine. Just go ahead and on that little corner, click that one. Click that one. And we're making little 3 millimeter radiuses on all that. That looks kind of nice like that. So now we know that this is what it's going to be. We know it was 5 millimeters tall. So let me undo this real quick because I want to make sure that we get this right. Let me go back one more time to this part right here. I'm going to go ahead and select this one and hit Control-D, duplicate that just to get at it in case we need it. Now we can take both of these here. Now we're going to use the scissor tools, and now we can cut them away. And then we can go back into our radius with the 3 millimeter and just put those in those corners. All right, so now we have that. I'm just kind of thinking here, guys, just making sure I'm getting this right. I'm going to undo it again real quick, and I'm going to make a box now. I'm going to make a rectangle to go from this corner, and you'll see why in a minute, to this corner. And then we'll drag that part off. We're going to need that for the top part. So let's go ahead and get our radiuses one more time back in there, and it should be good to go. All right, give me 1 second. I got to turn this heat off. All right, let that cool down just a little bit. It got hot in here. All right, let me go over here. We're going to stop at this point right here. We're going to jump over and let's see if we got any questions. All right. All right, let's see what we got here questions-wise. All right. See a few over here. So I got people talking. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Start up here at the top here. Well, we can't see what you were doing. No screen share. Sorry, I heard my name. Okay, we went through those there. Just get on with the project. And what's the project? And then we got a thumbs up bar. All right, there we go. Can you make a glitter caddy? Yeah, absolutely. You can, like, if you got different size round containers, yeah, you can absolutely make something like that. What's up, Ed? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. All right, that looks like that's it. Yeah, you can make glitter ones, whatever size your little containers are. If you have containers, you absolutely can do that. And you make just something similar to this. It might be bigger because your glitter things might be bigger, but yeah, it'd be the same kind of concept as that. All right, so I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and jump back into Lightburn. Now let's see if I can screw up some more. All right, so we have our bottom part done, and we also have our, I think we lost those somewhere. They're gone. All right, so we got to put a couple more of those in there. This is what I didn't want to do before, have it kind of miss them. Oh, there they are down here. Okay, we didn't lose them. There they are. Whew, thank God. All right, so that's going to come up here, and we're going to put that right on this line. Let's just bring it straight down. Select that one, select this, and let's just drop that straight down. Let me go back and go up just a little bit higher. Let's go up just a little bit higher so we can bring it down and nest it down for us. All right. Group those. Select that, and let's just see if it's going to bring it up. It's not bringing it. Bring it down to the bottom of that line. No problem. So now we'll try this other one, and we'll bring it straight down. I brought all of them, and I didn't want that either. So give me a second. Undo this one. Those are grouped, and let's go ahead and let's do that one more time. And it ain't working with me here. So let's just go ahead and just bring them straight down. Drop them straight on this line. And now, just so it don't move on us, make sure it stays left and right centered. And now we got to center left and right. Now we're going to highlight those, and I'm probably going to go up maybe probably 3 millimeters up. I think 3 millimeters, maybe 2, 3. We'll go 2. We'll just go up 2, and that's where our bottom base is right here is going to sit in that. Go up 3. All right, so now let's click this here because we want to make sure we duplicate that again. Control D, duplicate it, and bring it right here. Perfect. All right, so I want to have it up about halfway, but before I put this next line up, I'm going to go ahead and draw out my handle part to be able to hold it. So let's go ahead and bring that across. That'll be pretty good. I measured my hand, and my hand was about 76 millimeters wide from my pinky to my pointer finger. So we'll make that width 76. So I want to be able to get my hands to be able to go in there. And let's make sure that is centered now in the middle of these two. So click that one, click this one, and let's center that in the middle. Now, that's probably a little bit high, so we'll change that to like 15, I think, height, 15 millimeters. All right, and then we're gonna go up just a little bit because I don't want it all the way down at the bottom. We'll just go up just a little bit right there. And let's go ahead, and we know it's 15, so we can probably do 7. Let's see what 7 looks like on our radius. All right, you're just gonna put them little circles right around there so you can get your hand in there, and it'll kind of hold it comfortably. Now, we want to make sure that when we're doing this to be able to sit on the other one, it don't want to be here. It's got to be a little bit different. Otherwise, they won't be able to fit on top of each other. So let's click this one here because that's the width of what this was. And let's bring it up here. Let's put that right in the corner. Get the bullseye, and we're going to snap that in the corner. So I want it to come down and cut all this top part out now. So let's get our scissors. Hit Control-D, duplicate that first. Slide that over, out of the way. Now we're going to get our scissors here and see if this was not working earlier. Let's find out. See, it's still not doing it for me. I'm not sure why I was doing that. I had a hard time earlier trying to get that to go through. All right, my screen was freezing up there. So let me go ahead and do this. And let me go to Boolean Assistant. Nope, it's not going to let me do that. Yeah, see, it's not allowing me to cut that line out. And that is pulled directly into that corner. This is the problem I had a little bit ago. It was doing the same thing. See, it's just not allowing me to do it. Let me go ahead and change this one to a different layer, and let's see what that does. This wasn't doing it either, if I remember right earlier. Still doing the same thing. So let me come over to this side, and we'll try this side. Get on this corner, get the bullseye, and bring that right up in this corner. All right, now let's see if it does it on this side for us. It's still doing the same thing. It's getting rid of that corner node on me. They have to overlap to snip. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to overlap it just a little bit and see if that'll snip it. And if it does, that'll be awesome. I had a hard time earlier. I was able to get it then, but it just would not. It would not snip it for whatever reason. It did. That's what you had to do, Jack. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's make that one the red layer. We'll do the same thing. So at least they'll all be even. All right. See, that one's already cut off across the top. If it snips that there and get rid of this little piece up here. All right, so it's got to overlap just a little bit. All right. Well, it was earlier I did it. I don't know. I was messing with it, and it finally did it. Try stretching the top left corner up and then use the scissors. Yeah, it was messing with me earlier today. It sure was. I can tell you that. Now I'm going to hit Control-D. Let me put my 3mm or my little radiuses on this. Change that back to 3mm because that's what we use for the bottom. and hit the radius. Perfect. Now, I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate this, and we're just going to bring that up just to make sure that it's going to be able to sit right on top of that. And you'll see it's going to be able to come right up and sit together right on that. All right. So when you put it together, you'll be able to have, if you make two of them, you can have a second one above it, and it can sit right on top of that. Let's go ahead and delete that one just to get rid of it. We don't need it now. Now we need to put these across. So I'm going to probably go up 50 millimeters. That's why I had my gear to 50 millimeters before. If you hit your gear, your units and grid, and change that to 50 for the arrow. The first one I did this one about a year ago. I had them just a little bit too low. They weren't quite spread enough apart. So I went quite a bit higher on this one. All right, let's take that. They're grouped, and I'm just going to go ahead and center them right on top of that. And now I'm just going to click the one and just hit my arrow key and go up 50 millimeters. And that's it. So we don't need this piece anymore. We can delete that. And all these are going to all fit right in there. So if you click this and you bring it down over here, you'll see by making copies of those, it allowed it to be able to fit and have them perfect in there. So when you go to put them together, they'll be ready to go. So you have your bottom one, and then you have your top one. That's where your paints go through. And then you have your left side. Hit Control D, and now you got your right side. So that's it. Jack and Ed, appreciate you guys on that, because you get on live, you start like looking like a deer in headlights sometimes when something don't go the way it's supposed to. And it only, when I was messing with it earlier, I was having an issue with it too, but I ended up getting it. For some reason, I can get the right side, but I couldn't get the left side. I don't know what happened to that, but that's how easy it is to make those. They're really not hard. They just take a little bit of time. Going over the video makes it a lot harder because, you're trying to talk and do all that stuff. But once you cut them out, you can put them together. I got one here that we cut off. We took off the laser machine, and we're going to go ahead and go over that and take a look at that. We'll put it together with the CA glue and all that. All right. So there we go. That's the one I took off the laser bed. Just got just a couple more. Just tap it, and they usually fall right out of there. And you can see it, cut that out. Well, one more to go. All right, there it is. So there's the one. This one's still got 4 and out. While I'm waiting for that, we'll come up here and check comments out here in a second. All right, and all they do is they just go right together. Your bottom one without the holes, and the slots and tabs just go right together. I didn't make these tighter because I just didn't. I figured I'm going to use the glue anyway; it'll be okay. So I did not make them any tighter. I did not shrink the slot. I just kept it what it was. So we're just going to glue these together quick. What do you guys think? That's a pretty easy project. Pretty useful. Maria, I know you could use it with your stuff for sure. And what's nice is it's all done with one 300 by 300 millimeter piece of plywood. I like that. You can't get much better than that. That's real cheap to be able to do that. So, all right, let's get some glue on this side. We'll check out some comments. Hey, Jack, you said you had to get somebody to fix it. Did you get them all fixed up? Let's put some on the back side too. And this is one with the holes. That's going to go in the top section. All right. And now we just got the other side to get together. So let's get some glue on these and we'll put them together. Then we'll take a look at some chats. We'll talk a little bit and that's it. That wasn't bad. All right, let's put these together. You know, I was thinking what I wanted to do and I didn't do it, but I should have put like little supports in the middle here, and that would have held that up and allowed it to not be so flexible in the middle here. I could have put two little arms going down with slots and tabs on both sides, and then the same thing underneath, so it's not so flimsy. So when I put that on my Ko-fi site, I probably will add those to it just to make it a little bit stronger. I mean, it's okay like this. It's not going to fall apart or break, but by having those other ones, you won't get any sagging like you see with these. You see how they kind of sag? So you won't get that sagging if you do it with like what I was just saying. So I don't know, but that's it right there. This is the first one I did earlier. And you just put them all together and they'll sit right there together with each other, right like that. See that? They just sit right together. So for like your stuff you have ready, you can do a bunch of them. You can do a bunch of them together. Or if you want to glue these together, you can even glue this together. But you can't glue them because you got to be able to take it off. Don't even worry about that. I don't know where my mind was on that one. All right, let's take a look, see what we got going on. What comments we got? Let's see. Go down. Go Cowboys. Yeah, go Steelers. All right, where was I? I didn't put a star, so I got to see where I'm at here. We'll start right here. Try stretching the top left corner up and then use the scissors. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking that I'd be able to scissor them. I don't know. Yeah, I had a problem with that earlier as well, too. And I knew once I went live, it was going to hold me up a little bit. I don't know. It is what it is. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. I think that's what you're talking about. You're thanking me. You're nice. I thought you were making me one. If you want one, you can get one. Hey, I asked the other day if that spray stains or change the color, but you didn't get to it. No, it doesn't change it. Even on the regular color wood, it didn't change it, and on the painted wood, it didn't change it either. So you can spray it, and you see there is no change in color when you do spray it on there. Kathy says no. I guess no to the Cowboys. If it dries the glue instantly, that's what it does. It helps the wood dry quick and instant. So that's why a lot of folks want to use that. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. I'm asking Pro LOL. That's awesome. You need some. Yeah, you just kind of let me know this weekend. We can take a look at it and see. Just let me know what you need. So, what size? You need to know the dimensions and all, and like what the height will be and all that stuff. But yeah, it wouldn't be hard to make it. I know you're still waiting for your whatever the heck you call it around your the diamond art that you do. I know. So what do you guys all think? Nice, decent, not bad. I'm trying to clean up my shop a little bit, and these things here will definitely get a little bit more organized and make it to where I can just get the stuff I need. I don't use a lot of this. And the reason I don't is it dries out pretty quick. It's not even coming out. So you got to mix a little bit of water with it. But this is what I prefer. This is so much nicer. It's just so much nicer. Paint markers. Yeah, just about every color I need there. And it dries real quick. It's got the fine tip, and it also has the other tip that's a little bit wider so you can fill in stuff a little bit more. But that's so much easier. I'd rather this than use the brushes and all that. I mean, it's okay, but when I need to, but it's nice. These markers are much nicer. And those are off of Amazon. That's the brand right there. They have all different kinds, all different sizes and all that. But yeah, that's nice. Yeah, just let me know what they are, Maria, and I'll get the measurements and figure it out. I already have it all done, so I just got to just kind of stretch it, do whatever, make it, modify it to yours. You have 2 different size bottles. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, your frame. You're still waiting for your frame for your diamond art. I know. Yeah, those paint pens are real nice, don't you think, Jack? They work real good. They last pretty good for being a paint pen. They do last pretty good. Like the white, the common colors are going to be the ones you're going to end up losing a little bit, like the white and stuff like that. But they're just so much cleaner and nicer. I like them so much better. What do we got? Still got 6 in the house. I don't know how many we've had. I wasn't really looking at it, but that's a pretty good little turnout. I like that. It's been an hour and almost 10 minutes, so that's good. We can sit here and talk for a little bit, get my YouTube channel up a little bit more, but I did post it out there, so I was kind of hoping that folks would come in and jump in a little bit more. I don't know. So we had a couple in here, that my usuals, So that was good to see. Ed, I'm glad you came in here, Ed. I do appreciate it. I see you out there a lot commenting on other people's videos, so I do see your name out there quite a bit. Let me put this up on here. Right there. See, it's real important. It does say, please like, subscribe, and there it is. Share the video. Hit the bell notification. That's my little speech for that. And also, I will be putting this on my Ko-fi site right here. https ko-fi.com/pros lasers and CNC. That'll also be on my file on my Ko-fi site as well too. So if you don't want to make this, you want to buy or help support the channel, you can go on that route there. That would be awesome. But you see, we went through it. It's really not hard at all to do. Even with the screw ups. Yeah, I'd been there. I'd still be there trying to figure out those damn scissor tools up there because like I said, I had a hard time earlier, and then all of a sudden I got it. I don't know what I did different, but I don't know. All right, we got some more here. Let me click on them and see what we got. I gotta start checking so I know where we are. Judge, attacked the raccoon tonight. Not good. Not good, Judge. I guess I need to start making computer tip videos. Had a question just now. A lady accidentally took the file extension off her. Wow. Yeah, if you've been doing this since you were 14, you definitely need to be doing that for sure. I'm like real bad with computers. I don't really mess with them a whole lot. So if it works, that's great. If not, I asked Gemini and he kind of walks me through it. That's how I got this StreamYard going as good as what it is. I know it has some skips and sputters in it, but I'm trying to use a second computer, a second laptop with it to be able to have that for my camera, for the laser cam. If I went the other route and I was using the OBS, I had an overhead cam. I had that cam. I had this cam. I had a couple cameras I was able to do, but it's kind of hard with this one here. I don't think my computer can keep up with it. It's just too slow, I guess. Just too dang slow. threw the raccoon up in the air and then jumped on top of it. Wow. Wow. Vector file, not electric. I kind of thought that's what you were saying. I was thinking electric. Okay. But yeah. But yeah, that was a good little project. I enjoyed that. Like I said, this is the one I'll probably do another day. I'm not taking it down. I got all the other paints, spray paint cans sitting up on top of it. But it's just a 300 by 300 piece. And it's got holes in it that I can put my cans in just to stack them. Because I had them on this shelf and they were just all over the place. I had to pull everything out to see them. I couldn't see what the colors were very good. So I made that, and it kind of made it to where I can see them, get to them a lot better. That'll probably be my next one. That one, I got to work on that one because that's using a lot of wood. A lot of this millimeter wood is basswood. That's using a lot. 1, 2, 3, like 3 of them for one. I got to work on that to get that cut down because that's just too expensive. You get a lot of people asking for help, Jack? Once in a while I get people to ask for help, but not a whole lot. I've had a couple of them ask, how do you do this or how do you do that? Most of them, they watch my video and they see what I do, and then I get a subscribe, and then they tell me, hey, thank you, I really appreciate it. I learned a lot in this little bit of time and all that. All the time, really. I sometimes get it. So I don't know, I'm just not there yet. I'm just 125, 325. So I just got to wait a little bit and get out there a little bit more and, let people see these kind of projects. But you ever watch IDC Woodcraft? Yeah, I watched a few of his. I haven't ever bought any of his bits yet. I just use the cheap ones. Just easier to just get it and throw it away. But I do want to try one of their bits. They're expensive, and not being real proficient with the CNC, I don't want to burn them up because I had one that I probably ran it too slow or too fast, or I don't know what I did, but it kind of burnt it up a little bit. But so I just get them real cheap ones off Amazon and throw them away. Do you remember Kate on there? Yeah, yep. Was Kate? Was that her right hand man, woman? From ladies to CNC. I don't know. I might not. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. That's who asked about the file. Okay. Well, if you've been building them since you're 14 and been messing with them a long time, then you definitely have the knowledge on it, and that's what people see, and they can keep coming back and asking you those questions and all. That's awesome, because that's what makes you feel good is when people actually ask you something, they're having a hard time, they're struggling with it, and they can't figure it out, and then you get with them and you figure it out for them and you show them. Like I had one that was asking me about clearing out the pockets, how you can get it to go whenever you're using a bowl bit. And I made a video for him showing him how I did it. I didn't use a 1/4-inch bit. I just used the bowl bit, and I just went down with the bowl bit and did it just so it made it easier, so we didn't have to keep changing the bits and all. And he said he made a couple of them, but his machine, he also has one with the belt drive, so he's having a hard time with that. But yeah. Have you made any reels for people who have short attention spans like me? Those are great. Yeah, I'm a talker. Italians talk, and I get on here, and for me to make a short video, good God, it just ain't gonna happen. If I make a 15-minute video, I'm talking like this. I'm really trying to get this in, and it's hard. You know how Italians are. You're one. Deb, Kathy, you guys all know what it's like. You do a lot of private videos just to answer questions. Well, you're gonna have to have a private video with me because I need to go over that one box I was trying to do. So we're gonna have to get a private video and figure out why that doesn't work. I don't know what it is. I've tried everything I could possibly think of, and I just can't get that box. All I want to do is I want to take a 4x4 T-light box and double it in size, and then be able to change my slots and tabs and put it all together. But every time I do that, it just will not align them all together. One of them, I can't remember if it's whatever. It's been a little bit since I tried doing that, but it's like they won't change them. And it was driving me nuts because I had a video and I had to take it down because I was wrong. I said, just get one box. And if you want it, from 4 to 8, just put ×2 and, you'll get it. But what's that, Maria? That's small on this screen. Even with my glasses on, I can't see it. So yeah, I'm gonna get you one day whenever you get a chance to sit down and just try to see if we can maybe you can show me what I'm doing wrong, or maybe we can figure out that it just can't be done. We'll see. We'll see. One day we'll do it. What else? A lot of talking. And it's only been an hour and 16 minutes. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. Did I explain everything well? Do you guys kind of understand the non-CNC and laser community? Does it sound like you guys know how you can do it now? That's what I'm hoping for. That's the whole idea of this. Woo! Boy, it got hot in here though. That heater was cooking out here, and it got real hot. I couldn't even breathe. That's a laughing. Was a Frankenstein laughing face? I guess that's a Frankenstein. See, I can't see that little thing. It's green. That's all I see. I think we lost Ed tonight. I think he took off. I appreciate him coming in. That was nice. He got a little tip there, which was good too. Trying to help out with that. I like that. That was awesome. I do a lot of file designs, but I know a lot more about computers than I do CNC. I built one of my own CNC though. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Jack actually built a remote control lawnmower. Little, instead of push mower, it's a remote control lawnmower. I saw that video. I said, yeah, I need that. Sit on my porch and mow my grass. That was really cool. That's above my pay grade. I don't mess with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've never built a CNC. I've extended mine, extended my laser, extended my CNC. That's the extent of building it. I watched this other guy. God, I can't remember his name. He was all CNC work. Oh man, what the hell was his name? I can't remember it right now. But he made his own CNC machine. It was a real big one, real big stepper motors and all that, and just good. I did watched him a lot to try to figure this CNC stuff out again. Because like I said, I started it, but then I got rid of it shortly after I started it, and But you checking out, Deb? All righty, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. The RC mower is great. I bet it is. Can you believe that, Kathy? You might have sit on your deck by your pool and just mowing your grass. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like that. That's pretty neat. Oh shit, we're all over here. Oh boy, those scissors. That was getting me nervous. I was gonna do one without the stackable tops because I knew that was gonna try to hang me up a little bit, but I wanted to get those stackable ones. I wanted it to be able to be stackable, and that's what I had before, and it was kicking my tail. kicking my butt. I don't know, but I was glad though. RC in one hand and cold one in the other. Yes, sir. And a cigarette in the other. So, you know, you got 3 hands. Cigarette, the RC controller, and a cold one. Good night, Kathy. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. You guys gave me an hour, a little over an hour of time on my channel. So that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. And clean up Judge. Get all that blood off him. Oh, Lordy. That was like work tonight. That was like work. Well, I have no smoke in 30 years. You have not smoked in 30 years. God bless you. God bless you. I wish. I've had 2 heart attacks, 5 stents. I'm just about 55 and still smoking, which is just insane and stupid. Just crazy. And my other drug is right there, Pepsi. That's my other one. Judge didn't have a scratch on him. Oh, boy. Judge is a big St. Bernard. That thing is like Cujo. He really is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't forget McDonald's. Smoke in one hand, Big Mac in the other one. Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. Thanks for snitching, Kath. Yeah, back in, I don't know what years they were, but they used to have Big Macs 2 for $1. Oh, my God. Oh, that was 4 Big Macs for $2. And then get yourself a large fry and a large strawberry shake. Oh. All right, Kat. Thanks for coming in, Kathy. Deb's gone. I think Maria checked out. I think it's just probably me and you, Jack. Yeah. Yes. Well, I think I'm probably going to jump off. That was my little project. For anyone else who comes in later and watches, that's it right there. It's a little caddy. This will be on my Ko-Fi site, and I will add a couple things to it just to make it a little bit more rigid so it won't be so flimsy. I'll put a couple bars in here just to be able to hold that one up in here and then one at the bottom. I think that'll hold it real nice. I think that's the key because you can see the other ones. These are I don't know, a couple years old, I guess it was. I don't remember where I got the file from. I think Roger something, his channel. But you see they're just a little bit down there. So by putting something in there would keep those rigid and keep them up so they wouldn't be sagging. You know what they sag like? We know what they sag like. Oh, Maria's still in the house. Yeah, I don't know. It says up here 2, so I don't know. Oh, almost time for IDC stream. All right, Jack. I appreciate you stopping in. I really do. Thank you again. You're my regular. Maria and Kathy and all them, they're all there with me too. So I appreciate you guys. You did one for spray paint cans. I did a solid back for strength. Yeah. These little paintings though. I'm holding with one hand and they're real strong. They're not going to break or go apart. So for these little things, that's perfect. Spray paint cans they're much bigger. So what is it? IDC has a stream tonight too. I remember watching streams. I saw the one. I think you was on his. I watched that one the one time. You were going over Lightburn stuff, I think it was, with him. So I watched that one. That was a pretty good one. And it was kind of hard because you're trying to explain all that stuff to him, and he's asking you other questions, and you're trying to explain this process to him. It's tough when you get on the camera and you're trying to explain stuff. That's why I like lives. I was messing up with those scissors, and I had you right there to help me out. That was awesome. That was awesome. Oh, you have 2 lives with him? I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm gonna get you on. When I start getting some people in here, Jack, I'm gonna get you come in here. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk a little bit and go over some stuff and just kind of have a little fun with it, because you got to get on this side of the camera as well too. So we'll get you out here, and if I host it and you join it, do you get that same hour's worth of time too? Because that's what it's all about. It's about, watch time hours and getting subscribers. You have enough subscribers, just the monetized part, getting people, and I think that these live streams get you a little bit more than regular videos do. Because if I go on for 2 hours or hour and a half, and my phone is on one, my other account, you're on one, Maria, Kathy, Debbie, Ed comes in. Colt, I didn't see him here tonight. He didn't show up tonight. I don't know what happened to him tonight. But you get all those there, you can get 5, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours in a video, and it could take a while in the other way to get the video, but I don't know. But I'm going to get you in here with me, though, Jack, for sure. But I appreciate you. I guess we're going to go ahead and end it. IDC's got his thing. Jack's going to get ready to dip out as well, too. I appreciate everyone. No, but I restreamed to my site. I have an account to get the credit. I'll have to be on my account. Oh, really? So if you jump on mine, I get the credit, and you got to restream it for yours for you to get the credit. Well, we can alternate it. I can do 1 week, or whatever, because I know Clack and Venatori, they do it. So I guess because they both have it on their own, maybe that's why. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, no Colt tonight. No Colt tonight. I was hoping that. I put a short out about 2 hours before I went on, and then I dropped another one on my channel just to see, so people would know, maybe give them a heads up. But yeah, it'd be cool to just kind of swap back and forth a little bit there. I don't know if you're up to that, but I mean that's cool for me. I wouldn't mind that at all. You got Batman and Robin. I'll be your Robin, you be Batman. I'll be Batman, you be Robin. Whatever, it don't matter. What do we got here? Make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I usually always, because Clack is a much more established. He's got more subscribers. He's got more views usually than Venatori. I usually go on his and watch his instead, just to try to give him that extra little bit of support with it. I watch them every time they're on. But I figured, usually for the most part, I think this week Steve actually had more than Clack. So, and that's kind of unusual because I think he has a lot more subscribers. And Steve's been doing this for, oh my God, forever. I went back and looked at some of the beginning videos. I said, it was funny as heck looking at him. He looked like a baby back then with his RCs and stuff, his planes and all. Oh, are you? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. They have a good site. Clack's more. He's more camera, I guess, kind of personable. You can tell, he was a cop in his time. He's a little bit more camera going, and Venatori's a little bit more about technical. So, and you can tell that as well too. Watching when I used to watch Hobo and Louisiana Hobby Guy, Hobo was trying to tell him all the time stuff, and he would cut him off and be like, "No, you can't do it that way." And Hobo was like, "Well, yeah, I did it. It works." So those butted heads, but these two have been doing it for so long, they just complement each other real well, that's real good to see. Yeah, I've never been on a Facebook group. I don't think I have. No, I don't really mess with. I don't have a Facebook account, so it's kind of. I had one for. Oh heck, I don't even remember what it was for. I had one years ago when I used to work in a prison, and I didn't want the inmates to be able to get, be able to have access because they had better phones than I had, So you're out, Maria. Okay, Maria, I appreciate it. Thank you, dear. And we'll work on those things that you were talking about too, Maria. Did a quick video showing how I turned my laser off and on through my website. That's cool. But when I was on Facebook, I didn't want the inmates because they had better phones than I had. I didn't want them because I made a lot of them mad. And I didn't want them to be able to go on their Facebook or on my Facebook, pull it up and be able to see stuff. So I just got rid of it. And since then I had it for something else. I can't remember what it was for. But I haven't worked in a prison in almost 13 years now. So I gave that up. I was getting too old for that stuff. And that was a maximum security. That was we call it a closed camp, closed camp in our state here. But everyone else they call maximum, minimum, or medium. That was a maximum camp. That wasn't a bad job. You just stood on your feet a lot. Stood on your feet all the time, constantly walking up and down, handcuffing people, tackling them. Got cut across my hand. You might be able to see it. I don't know. But I cut across my hand with a razor blade, tackling an inmate. That was after one of my heart attacks, so I was on blood thinner. So that blood was it was everywhere. Yep. Yeah, I had to give that dream up. Well, I think I'm going to get off. Going to give me a snack. Work on that next heart attack. But I appreciate everyone. Jack, thank you for coming back in here. I really appreciate you. Like I said, we're gonna get together a little bit more, and I'm hoping for it anyway. I mean, you got a lot of knowledge. I have a little bit of knowledge. We can do some stuff together here. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a lot of fun. So if it's something you're thinking about or something you would do, just let me know. We can get together off camera and get on the phone or get on the whatever, do screen share where we're offline. But I do want to go over them box things because that was whooping my tail. So I definitely got to work on that. But well, I appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for another good live. There it is again. Last chance looking at it. It will be on my Ko-fi site. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a good one.